Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thanks so much for joining me for another 5 easy step card tutorial. Today we're making a card using basic shapes. And I'm using circles today, but really any kind of shape that you have would work. The items that I'm using today happen to be from Simon Says Stamp's Favorite Things release. I'll leave the entire release down below if you guys want to check it out. But we're going to jump in and get started. As always, with my 5 easy step cards, we're going to start with step number 1, which is our focal point. My focal point today is going to be very simple. We're just going to do some stamping with this butterfly here. Let's put everything to the side. I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Versafine Clear Nocturne ink. Any kind of black ink that you have would work. And we're just going to stamp our focal point with black ink. Very simply and easy peasy. Give that a good press. Now I'm going to take my scissors and fussy cut this out. I'm pretty sure Simon Says Stamp has a coordinating die that will cut out some of the elements in the stamp set. If they do, I will link it down below. And this butterfly has a little distressed feel to it, but you can kind of still gauge the outline of the butterfly. Very simply, that is our focal point. Okay, now we're going to move along to step number 2, which is our home panel. For my home panel, we're going to be using the Pastel 6x6 glitter pack. Okay, so we're not going to use the pink. We're going to put this one back. But we are going to use the green, the yellow, and the blue glitter cardstock. Now what I had did was went through my paper stash and found 2 different shades of green, 2 different shades of yellow, and then 2 different shades of blue. This is where our nesting circle die set will come in. Today I'm using the basic shape circles from Simon. I actually made another card using this. I'll link it down at the end of the video. Shape dies are super fun and they create great backgrounds and great home panels. So that's what we're going to do with these. I'm going to take some circle dies and we're just going to die cut out some circles and glitter cardstock with these. I'm going to do that and I will be right back. Now I have all of my circles die cut. The second to the largest was with the glitter. The largest was with the white cardstock, and this is my base size. What I mean by base size is I took my die, which would be the largest for my card today is this one here. Okay, I cut out my white, and then in my nesting die set, I went one size smaller and die cut this out, one size smaller, cut this one out, and then one size smaller and cut this out. So I just descended on sizes, and I did the same thing. This one I actually used this one, and you can see I just continued the descent of circles on my die cutting. And then this one here is actually a size smaller, and then we went like this and like this. Okay, so they're all going to stack beautifully together. Let me show you. So we didn't skip any sizes. What we're going to do is just use my tape runner. And we're going to simply just adhere these together like this. And just that, if you want to save on the glitter cardstock, you could actually die cut out another circle in here or in here. And then you could actually stretch your glitter cardstock if you wanted to. But I'm just going to layer all of these together. The glitter cardstock that I'm using is Simon's, it's no shed, so it does not leave any glitter anywhere, but it's awful sparkly and very pretty. Okay, so we have one circle set here. We're going to continue with the rest of these, just stacking them. So now we have all 3 circle layers. What we're going to do is stack them now to create our home panel. Okay, I think that's a nice little circle cluster, and that's going to make a great home panel. What we're going to do next is take the butterfly, and I'm going to add it here to my home panel just with a couple small foam squares, and I like to go right down the body and have the wings a little bit free flowing. So we'll put 2 small foam squares, and I'm just going to add my butterfly here. And then my home panel is ready to go. Pretty simple. I love those shapes. And again, you could use squares, octagons, triangles, diamonds. This is one of those cards you can use any of your nesting dies with. Okay, we're going to put this to the side, and now we're going to go ahead and work on our step number 3, which is our sentiment. We're going to go all out easy today, and I'm going to use my Thank You Easy strips. We're just going to open these up. And I do have the coordinating die that will cut these out. This pack here has 4 pieces, so you have lots of thank yous. And then my die, and then this is the Easy Strip Rectangles die set. Okay, it looks like this, and all you do is line it up. Let me bring in my magnet here. All you do is line it up. We can run this through the die cut machine. Now I also have some of the A2. This is Simon Says Stamps Fun Foam. I'm going to cut out some fun foam using that die too. Let's run this through and I'll be right back. Okay, I cut these out also. And actually I like that they stayed in here. You know why? Because what I can do is just use my glue and add glue to each one of these sections. Okay, and then all we have to do is add these directly to that foam. We'll tack them down. I'm going to give those a second to grab. Now we're on the fun foam. And then all we do is punch them out. And these are all ready to go. If you like to mass produce cards, this little set is perfect for that. So now we have lots of sentiments here, and then we can add it to our card here. Let's see. The glue does take a little bit of time to dry on the pop-up foam, so I just used my tape runner for today's project, and I'm going to shift my butterfly a little bit. So far we have our focal point, home panel, and our sentiment. We're going to put this to the side, and now we're going to work on our background. My background, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm bringing in some texture paste. And we are bringing in a stencil today. This is from Honeybee Stamps. It's called Perfect Bricks. I just think this, I love any kind of brick background. And I'm going to place this over a panel that measures 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 inches tall. I'm using some texture paste. This is Opaque Matte. I like using this because it dries really quickly. And I'm gonna just add a little bit to certain sections on my panel here, focusing kind of on the corner, and I'm not going over the entire thing. I kind of want a little bit of a distressed look in my background. We're gonna try and hit areas where I'm gonna use my home panel as a guide, and I'm gonna go for this corner over here. For the most part, our circles are going to be covering this, but I do want just some areas. The nice thing about texture paste too is it dries really quickly. So that's all I'm going to do. And again, I'm doing this on some fog cardstock. So the cardstock that I'm using is not white, it's a pale gray. Let me show you. So we just basically hit and missed. Messy stenciling is always fun. Now I'm going to wipe off my surface, clean my stencil, and go over the edges here with this panel. We'll let that dry a bit, and I'll be right back. Texture paste doesn't take any time at all. I just made myself a cup of coffee, and we're good to go. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to use glue, and we're going to adhere this. I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky glue because it's a little bit thicker, and I'm going to be using it for my focal point to go over my texture paste. So that's the reason I'm using this glue. We're going to tack this down. Now after we have this adhered, we can go ahead and take our home panel with our focal point and our sentiment. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add some glue behind here. I'm going to tack it down here. Now I have a little bit overhanging, but I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to chop that off. But I'm going to give this a good press. I actually have some clothespins. Now I am going to use my clothespins because we are adding this to texture paste. These clothespins are from Simon Says Stamp, but any kind of clothespins you have would work perfect for this. Okay, after we have, so we're just going to keep those on for the meantime. And now we're going to work on step number 5, which is embellish. Now I have some Simon Says Stamp Positively Dazzling gems. The 3 that I'm using are Surf. I think Surf is going to match my blue perfectly. And then I have Warm Tones is a variety, well, of warm tones, but I need the yellow from there. And then I have some green, which is called Sprout. I'm going to pick out 3 different sizes. And then we're going to add some gem. Let's place our gems where we want them to go first. So I put gems in each of the sections here with the coordinating glitter cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and put these back. And then I'm also going to bring in my glazing glue. I'm not going to add any sparkle to my butterfly, but I do want a little extra something to that black and white butterfly. So I'm going to go over the detail areas with my glazing glue. Give it a little bit of shine. And then I'll go over the body of my butterfly with my glazing glue too. And then we can just remove these. Now all we have left to do is remove our clothespins. I'm going to open my card base. I'm going to trim anything that's overhanging. And that finishes my 5-step card for today, using just some basic shape dies. And again, this is one of those designs that would go great with any nesting die. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.